Yo. So, first and foremost, in an attempt to get myself to make more videos, even if it's just me yapping somewhere, especially in the kitchen, because we're going to be cooking, with our knowledge. Nah, but like, we're actually going to cook. I'll be washing dishes here, and it's meat. We love meat over here. But, anyways, today what I want to talk about is what to do when you hate yourself. I mean, I've had these instances throughout my life, and especially, after high school, because high school was kind of like a fever dream of like, get some education, hang out, make some friends if you want to do that. Yeah, but, meet some people, all that from, where you're from. But once I graduated from high school, it's like your whole like world view expands, and you start to not only look outwards but inward more as to like, what do I even do, or what value do I bring to anything? What do I want to do for the rest of my life? God damn, that's a huge question, right? And so when you have all this pressure, literally, right, the pressure of the world on your shoulders, it feels like, it's so important to know yourself and to like be solid and secure in oneself, but that doesn't come so easily, and especially for someone like me, very like reclusive, insecure, anxious, and back in the day very depressed individual. It's just hard to make sense of anything. All this pressure, all this nonsense, I'm just prefacing the next thing that I'm gonna say by, creating context with all this stuff that's gonna pressure people in their lives. But a major thing is the way that you view yourself. Like, what do you think about yourself? And that's, what brings me to this topic of what to do when you hate yourself. Because sometimes you see where you think you should be in your life, or what you should be accomplishing, and how you should be solving certain problems. But sometimes we have having high standards is not like a negative thing per se, but when you put your entire self value on trying to figure things out the first time ever in your life, that's very heavy. I mean, nobody in their right mind, ever has figured something out the first time. And if they have, then they've been very lucky in their life to, like, I don't know, come to a conclusion that actually makes sense. I'll be moving around and stuff. But, um, yeah, so high standards. And I heard this saying one time. How did it go? Ah, it's like perfectionism is the disguise of insecurity. Like when you really want to do something and you feel like it has to be absolutely right, every single thing has to be the way that I envision, or has to be of the highest caliber. And like I said, it's not negative to have high standards, but it's also unfortunately very toxic to oneself when you just can't let go and can't let yourself make mistakes. And the only thing that should matter is how you feel about, the thing and yourself. But you put your own pressures on yourself, but also from like projecting what you think other people are going to think of you. Because for as much as we might think we don't care what other people think of us, that's often part of the problem as well. Is like, man, people are gonna think I'm a fucking idiot. I feel like a fucking idiot. I couldn't figure this out. I'm not in a good position in my life. Why am I so lost? I mean, being lost is part of the freaking problem. Let me move this camera, holy. So being lost is part of the problem, or, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the process, is what I meant to say. And so you just have to accept that you're not gonna know what you're trying to do, and you're not gonna take the best steps. You might go the wrong direction, you know, in your life at one point, but that doesn't mean you can't reroute yourself and find your way back. The most important thing is a willingness to learn and adapt, and just being open minded. Nothing is the end. Like, if you made a mistake, in your life, that's not the end of everything. It feels very awful to make mistakes, to fail at things, but it's never the end. Like, you have to be honest with yourself that was that a mistake? Okay, if it was, then accept that you made that mistake and figure out how you're going to correct it or how you're going to go about things from there, you know? It's another saying, quotes all over the place, is it's not about making the right decisions, it's about making your decisions right. Because like I said, you're not always going to know which way to go or what exactly to do to get to where you think you want to be in your life. You have to take a couple steps and be like, oh shoot, like I overshot it or I was short by this amount and now I have to go and do this other stuff, like study up more on some fundamental things that I didn't, you know, you weren't aware of because you had not stepped into that world yet. And I always like to make comparisons to art or Japanese language because that's something that I'm deeply involved in. And there are certain fundamental things, whether it's like perspective, proportions, you know, the size of things to give that 3D effect, and, you know, like distance, the illusion of distance on a 2D plane. Um, and so it's it's difficult. It's weird. You have to look at a situation that you feel very subjective about in an objective manner. Like, okay, I messed up. That's how I feel about it. But what can I do? What are the factors? What are the like actual truthful things that are a part of the thing that is causing me this pain and to feel like I'm not accomplishing what I want to do? So again, to look at myself and how I'm trying to live what I feel is this truth of you just gotta accept the mistakes. You don't like yourself. It's just a temporary feeling um, of, you know, you being a bit lost and feeling weird about it. And again, I mean, I think it's very normal. And some of us feel it with varying intensities. I mean, for me, it's like, whew, it's almost paralyzing. I want to puke, man. Whenever I feel super down and I'm like, holy shit, you know, how do I not have this figured out in my life? And it's happened, you know, throughout the entirety of my life. I mean, I'm 31 now. I'll be 32 in July. And it's something that doesn't cease to hit me from time to time. And so that's why I feel it's just so important to address and to not like dilly dally and like pretend like you're not feeling it, because it is a real, very real pain that can, again, like I said, paralyze you, and then you'll be in inaction, and it'll be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You feel like a failure, and you can't do anything in your life, and so the paralysis and fear and that yucky feeling will create a scenario in which you don't take action and don't try to learn and don't try to do the things that you feel you're passionate and interested in. And that sucks. That fucking sucks. I mean, I've had that for the longest time. Um, and I mean, I'm more aware of it now. I'm more capable of trying to manage and fix it. But again, nobody's perfect, and sometimes I do fall in those trenches again. And that's why I share these conversations. I mean, even this here is not planned. It's not like, you know, the most illustrious, beautiful way for me to articulate myself. I just turn this on. I have a feeling about something or want to talk about something that's been bugging me. So I put it out there. It's kind of wacky and weird. And like I said, it may not be the most beautiful thing out there, but it is painfully, truthfully, and clearly me. And that's what I want to be, dog. Like, it's just like there could be a lot of beautiful things in life, but there's also like super ridiculous lows, and a lot of us stay there because we gotta confront ourselves, to be honest. I mean, there's certainly a lot of circumstances in life that might be holding you back, but if you can't do anything about it, whatever. You could do something about you and how you navigate that. If you can't control something like the weather, oh, it's raining and thunderstorm and my plans are going to be messed up. You can't change the weather, but you could change how you prepare for that rainy day or that thunderstorm and all that stuff. So keep that in your mind moving forward, and I hope you guys can overcome yourselves, because I think at the end of the day that's what we all need to do. Because I've seen it in other people, but I'm always looking at myself like, come on dog, you got this, you just got to keep going. Like, I feel like everything is suffering. Failure is suffering, success is suffering, but the main thing is suffer for something. It sounds funky, right? If you're lifting weights, you're gonna feel a little bit of pain, right? Because you're trying to go beyond what you can actually do, right? First, you do what you're capable of, then you push a little bit more, and that's a certain type of suffering or pain, right? And so you're gonna get better. And so through your own struggles of like, oh, like I don't feel like I can do this, and it's frustrating. But you work through the problems, you keep going and keep failing, making mistakes. But as you analyze and adapt and do all that beautiful stuff, you will improve. It is guaranteed, because I've done it in my own fucking life, man, and I believe that you can too. But anyways, let me know your goals in the comments. Me, I'm trying to pass this JLPT N2 by the end of this year. I'm taking it in July. I don't think I'll pass because I wasn't like on a good flow. And if I don't pass it, I'm gonna just go back and do it in December. And I'm pretty confident that I'll get it in December. But it's all about the steps, all about trying to learn and trying to create environments where you just grow, right? So come along on the journey, motherfuckers. Subscribe, like this thing if you want to watch that and listen about that. But yeah, share any goals you might have this year or within the next 5 to 10 years. We're gonna be talking some goals here soon in upcoming videos, because I just want to be yapping, but I also want to be doing vlogs. So I'm gonna be throwing stuff out there because I have a lot of that fucking insecurity, man. It sucks. And the more I get out there and put myself in this weird position of talking to a camera, talking to the peoples, the better I get at doing it and articulating what it is that I do to overcome me. I can frame it as certain specific problems, but at the end of the day, the instrument that you use to navigate this life is you. So let's take care of that. Anyways, that's it from me. You guys take it easy. Much love and peace out.